It is always great to see our friends Kristy and Michelle from Least of These Food Pantry because we know we're going to eat well, and they are master executive TV chefs. So that's why we know.
Yes, we are.
We look forward to this.
We do.
Yes.
On my resume now.
Yes.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kristy,
absolutely.
you created a whole meal that everybody loved. People made it, we made it. And now you're an egg aficionado.
Yes. Yes.
So bragging rights.
Would you like to recount the story of
I
the boiling
would.
of the
So
eggs?
normally, I just want people to know, and this will not shock anybody, but normally Michelle comes up with the entire recipe. She does it. She cooks it. I just show up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I just show up.
It's true.
And yesterday she calls me and she goes, "You're gonna have to boil the eggs for tomorrow." And I was like, "What? Boil the eggs?" And
My
she goes,
kitchen is being remodeled. I don't have a stove. I can't boil them on the grill.
And you're gonna have to peel them. So what do? I Google. Not kidding.
I love
Because it's one thing to boil eggs and take them somewhere. It's another thing to have them live on TV. They gotta be perfect. Please make sure you get a shot of these babies because they are perfect.
They're perfectly hard
I'm going to
boiled.
hold these up because look
It's
at
not
these.
true. We ate the outtakes.
Yes.
Okay.
They were not all perfect.
She's got to
They
tell
are
the
gorgeous.
truth.
Look
She's
at
got to
that.
tell it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Googled, just so you know, the Pioneer Woman was the recipe I went with, and I learned a lot.
These
I had
are
no
pioneer
idea.
eggs.
There we go.
Pioneer eggs. So there we go.
Okay.
Michelle, what are we getting to now?
So this is just the basic recipe, and I think there needs to be something said for basic. The OG recipe that everybody loves, and there's lots of variations, and I put some of those in the recipes that'll be on your site later.
Okay.
So this is just going to be basic, but I thought we could do a little cheese. I found this on the shelf at the pantry. Put a little of that in with your mix. Top it with a little chiffonade of ham and maybe a quarter of a plum tomato or cherry tomato.
I love
just
that.
Stuck in there, like look how pretty that is. Tex-Mex version I made the other day. You can put green chilies or a little dollop of salsa verde on top, and then instead of your paprika, hit it with a little chili powder. And then you could even do a tuna salad egg.
Yeah.
A little bit of tuna in with it, just a little bit, and then a little relish, right?
Yeah.
And then that's a little thing too. So I'm just mixing it up with
Those
the,
are really extravagant.
with the
eggs, just so
typical.
you know.
Fancy.
And I mean, I put some measurements on the website, but like y'all, really, this is just a
So
taste,
really, I see
right?
the egg yolks,
Yeah,
mayonnaise, mustard.
And my favorite thing to do is put a little bit of Worcestershire in it. It just gives it that little kind of
Kick.
little umami taste there.
And one thing, you know, we always bring items that we have at the pantry.
Yeah.
Right now we have a lot of eggs that we're giving out, and so this is great. You could have your kids help you while they're at home. You could take them somewhere if you have a party you're going to or something.
Yeah, everybody thinks of them as being a party food, but you know what? Why not have them at home? I
Yeah.
mean, treat
Right, yeah.
yourself, right?
Yes.
Well, I was gonna say eggs are always an excellent source of protein for,
Yes.
especially for growing kids and whatnot. So whether they're hard boiled or they're deviled, you know, during the summer, especially if they're out at camp or they're running around and need that quick snack to like re-energize them, this is a great option.
Yes.
You know what they remind me of? They remind me of holidays at my house or church socials.
Yes.
They always, you know, the sweet little old ladies, Miss Ruby, I'll never
Yeah.
forget her, make the deviled eggs and bring them to the church
Yes.
social.
I think I've said this before on the show, but my sister-in-law, Lauren, they do have chickens. So every holiday, she's the deviled egg girl.
Yeah.
Well, and
why
I
not?
think, you know, deviled eggs are great, but like you said, just hard boiling eggs and putting them in the fridge when your kids are out running around. I mean, I think about when I was a kid, and that was a long time ago, but like I would be out just running around. I never wanted to come in for lunch. I never wanted to come in and do stuff. So like, just come in and grab a couple eggs, eat them, and away you go.
Throw the extra.
Question for you, ladies. Do you happen to have, or from time to time, do you have hummus that comes to the pantry?
Sometimes, yes.
We do, but more often we have the chickpeas.
I was going to
or-
say, if you
yeah.
got chickpeas, could you make the hummus?
Yes.
yeah.
So
Make the hummus and
we've
also
done
do that.
a recipe like that before. It may be on our website, but we, mostly I recommend that people
These
make
might
it
be a
themselves.
little overstuffed.
Again, just like this, it's so easy to make.
And you could put hummus instead of, you
Yeah.
know, all the, like there are so many options you can do is what
Yes.
I'm trying to
Garbanzo
say.
beans. That's what it
Yes.
says on the label, but yeah.
Yeah.
I've always called them chickpeas too, though.
Yeah.
It's a southern thing.
It is, I think. And those look amazing.
These are
Yeah.
And
so
I
what-
just want you to know this is really hard.
Well, I know. That's why you're the culinary experts. We're leaving the hard work to you.
Yes.
The biggest challenge, I think, is going to be getting that perfect mix. You know, like how much is left. It's kind of like the chips and salsa. You can't have more chips and you have salsa, you can't have, you know.
And they always tend to do that. More chips and salsa.
Yeah. So
What are you experiencing too at the food pantry? You said you have a lot of eggs. Is there anything else that you can think of that you have a good amount of at this time?
Right now we have turkey breasts
nice.
that have been given to us through a partnership that we have, and so that has been a great source of protein that we were able to secure and bring in, and then so families were able to are getting turkey breasts now as a source of protein.
That's great.
For the summer.
And they are beautiful, I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you. And they're the way they're done, you could cook them on the grill, those turkey breasts, and just had like the best little cookout.
Yes.
That looks beautiful.
Look at that.
Great. Now, you know what, one thing I correct me if I'm wrong, has anybody heard of relish in it?
In the
and
yolk. Have you heard of that? Is
yeah,
that
you
crazy?
can do that with the tuna or
Oh.
without the tuna.
I
No,
was just
relish
looking
in
at
it is
these.
good. Yeah.
Yes.
I know egg salad, my
Yes.
aunt does relish in it, but not
yeah.
deviled
I don't
eggs.
see that, so I don't know. I was like, that could be something fun. Add some
absolutely.
stuff in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, should we
absolutely.
try these?
Yeah.
let's try 'em.
You definitely need to try one.
Kristy Michelle, you never fail us.
Look at this. We're always excited to see what you're
I
going to
love
create.
how you guys are always guinea pigs for us.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Very good.
What did you? Are you getting like a little smokiness? Like just is that the
Is
Worcestershire?
it the Worcestershire?
Yeah.
Love that.
That's what makes the difference to me. And this is smoked paprika too. So that gives it a little smoke.
Because when I
So
first
deviled, right? The deviled part of the deviled eggs means spicy. And normally when we think of deviled eggs, we don't think of spicy because if you get the right paprika, it is hot. But this is smoked. I like that.
I like this.
Okay.
one.
I like that best.
When I first bit in, I was like, ooh, Christmas ham. I don't know why. Maybe because you mentioned ham, like, but I don't know.
No. It's
So
awesome.
tell us too about how many people you're serving and how people, if they need to use your services, how can they sign up and utilize
Yes.
of these?
So currently we're serving about 1,400 families a month, and so those are just Christian County families. And people who are coming to us, if they need assistance that are not coming to us yet, they can go to our website at leastofthesefoodpantry.org. Click on the QR code; it will definitely take you to our website. That will be how you can donate and help us. In the month of June, we are also collecting fans, Fox fans, for people who don't have air conditioning or who maybe have air conditioning but can't afford to run it right now.
Right.
And so we'll be giving those out in July to our families.
Oh, that's
So-
great. That's a great
May I
idea.
ask new, gently used?
Preferred new.
Preferred new. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
All right.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much.
These are-
so good.
Yeah.
I'm going
so
to eat
simple.
more once we go off air.
I'm